Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here at Baxter Cycle, the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa, and look what I've got today. The slime green monster, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. Kind of an interesting color they've come out with this year. This bike's been modified. Little extras here and there, we'll go over that in a bit, but let's go take her for a ride. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's one of the things they did is a pipe. I like it, I like it. It's an AEW pipe. If you all are in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield, Triumph, or British classic bike of any type, get yourself down here to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. They've also got all kinds of accessories and parts and gear and backpacks and you name it, they got it. BaxterCycle.com. Hey, you know what? We're going the wrong way. Let's turn around and see where we can go. This is the first thing I love about these bikes. Incredibly maneuverable. Even when there's traffic coming. Wahoo! I love riding these things. These Meteors are one of my favorite motorcycles. I'm just going to say that right now. I've just been on a Meteor kick lately. They're just a ball. I'm calling it the Slime Green Fireball Meteor. Nifty little bike. Let's do a spin test right here. 55.1 inch wheelbase. I think that is 1400 millimeters. You all know me. Anything with a 55 in the wheelbase is my favorite kind of motorcycle. Look at that. Look at that. Ground clearance is 170 millimeters. That's about 6.7 inches. What a beautiful day for a ride. It's about mid-70s here right now. Hardly any wind. These bikes have a 349cc single-cylinder overhead cam, air and oil cooled, 20 horsepower, 20 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 27 newton meters. Nifty little hot rod engine. All the torque is way down at the bottom, so it's right where you need it. It's really made for that kind of thing. It's a 5-speed transmission, and this is one of the best 5-speeds there are. And this particular bike has a heel shifter on it, which we'll use right now. Use it again. Okay, another spin here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wahoo! I love it. I love the way these things handle. One of the things about the Meteor is the handling is so predictable and so stable and so no nonsense. It's just a very well-behaved, well-disciplined motorcycle. Let's do a little bit of highway. Seat height on this hot rod is 30.1 inches or 765 millimeters. Now there's a little more to the story than that. It's a very low bike. You're right on the ground. I think it's but it's also very narrow, and that makes for a very confident feel. Now you can also get shorty shocks for this, which will lower the back end about an inch, and you can do some modification to the front and even bring it down a little farther. So you might be able to drop this bike another, I'd say 1.25 inches or so. Look at this. We're just going to spin around right here. Nothing behind us, of course. Beautiful, beautiful. Weight on this hot rod is 421 pounds wet. I don't know what that is in kilograms. Let's say 190. The center of gravity is so low on this motorcycle. It's about as low as a skateboard. I mean, it's just makes handling a dream. I do like the sound of that pipe. It's not overly loud, but it's there. It certainly does help. Can you all hear that? I like that. I like that a lot. We're going to do things a little different this time. We're going to go this way around. We're always going the other way around. Look at that, huh? Look at that. Just a dream. Little dream boat for turning. This is I call this the hill spin test. If you're ever in Marnie, get yourself down here to the Derailed Grill right there. Good eats, good eats. So handling on this bike. Handling in the garage, you can't find anything better. It does weigh 421 pounds, but the weight is so low that pushing it around the garage is a breeze. Driving it at low speed, let's say 0 to 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, parking lot speed, absolutely, I mean, nothing to it. It's just one of the best handling bikes in that realm as well. I'll just jump out there. From 0 to 70 miles an hour, this thing handles superb. Driving around town like this, it's just an absolute hoot, a real joy. And then on the highway, that's I think it's speed limited at 70 some odd miles an hour. I would keep off the interstate unless the wind's at your back. I've had this, I did a 100-mile ride on one of these where I got on the interstate for about 10 miles and I had the wind at my back. And and I was bouncing off the speed limiter the whole time. Had the wind been coming at me, it would have been a different story. The nemesis of this bike is a headwind. Oh, debris on the road there. What a grin. So it's a great little bike. I just love these things. I've got the classic version, same motor, same transmission, slightly different wheelbase, but look at this. So manageable, so absolutely manageable. Little bit of wheel spin there. Just a beauty of a bike. You know what, let's go down to Motorcycle Park and take a good look at this thing. Absolutely fabulous day for a motorcycle ride, especially on a motorcycle like that. Isn't that just a beauty? I'm calling it the Slime Green Monster. Jokingly, of course. It's an interesting color for sure. This is Fireball Green in the Royal Enfield lineup. This bike's got a bunch of extras on it, but let's go over the normal things. 349 cc, single overhead cam, 2-valve, air-cooled, oil-cooled engine. Puts out about 20 horsepower, 20 foot-pounds of torque. That's 27 newton meters. It's electronically fuel injected. It's got a really nifty 5-speed transmission. I consider this one of the best 5-speeds out there. But what I really like is it's got this heel shifter. Brakes on this hot rod are a 300 millimeter disc on the front with a dual pot bi-bree. That means 2 pistons. ABS, of course. On the rear, it's got a 270 millimeter disc with a single pot bi-bree. ABS, of course. The front tire is a 190/19 on these nice mags. Tubeless tire, by the way. Aren't those mags neat? Just love it. And of course, like I said, tubeless tire. The rear is a 140/70/17. Forks are 41 millimeter. Of course, they're covered. 5.1 inches of travel up and down. That's about 130 millimeters. The rear has dual shocks with about 3.5 inches of a travel. That's 89 millimeters. You know, it's kind of a modern bike, but it's also got a lot of really good classic touches, you know. The wheelbase is 55.1 inches. That's about 1,400 millimeters. 170 millimeters of ground clearance. That's 6.7 inches. Seat height, and this is really important. These are my Naru gloves, by the way. I'll just throw those over yonder. I got those at Baxter Cycle. Seat height is 30.1 inches. And that's pretty darn low. I think that's probably their lowest seat height of any of their bikes. That's 675 millimeters. Now the trick here is, not only is it low, but it's narrow through here. So when you sit on it, it feels much lower than that. I'm just amazed at that. And then you throw in the ultra low center of gravity of this bike, and you feel like you're flat-footing the whole time. Weight on this hot rod is 421 pounds. That's 191 kilograms, by the way. Tank is 4 gallons, which is really nice. That's about 15 liters. Let's jump up here and take a look at this. I've talked about these levers in the past. They've got this nice sweep to them, good radius on the edges. They're good and wide through the body of the lever. They've got a really good feel in your hand. You really should get down and try these. They work very well with these Amal grips. Over here, we've got the information button. Flash to pass, low beam, high beam, blinkers, horn. Then on this side, it's a kill switch, run switch, and then a rock over to starter switch, hazard lights, and of course a throttle. Jumping up here, this is one of the neatest things on this bike, and I really appreciate this. This is the, I call it the Oculus. So the speedometer is on the outside up. In the center, you've got a fuel gauge, an always visible gear indicator, an always visible clock. And down here, you've got using this button, it's on the odometer right now, trip A, trip B, and odometer. And you can do all that while on the fly with this button over here. And down here, it's got a battery light, ABS light, and engine light. You know, everything you need right in one spot, easy to look at, beautiful. I also like the way they've finished off the ends of their forks with these little caps. You know, everything just looks done right here. Little covers on here to cover up where the mirrors were. This has got the bar end mirrors, Royal Enfield bar end mirrors. Aren't those just beautiful? I love using those. They're just great. I like it. I like it a lot. Other neat things in this area, the chrome gas cap. And then I like these cast bars on the end here. Of course, the nifty tail light. Isn't that just beautiful? The whole thing. Now that looks like a stock muffler, but it's not. It's actually an AEW short star muffler. And we could hear that riding. Did pretty darn good. I also like the way they milled the ends of the fins off here to give it that extra layer of texture, extra layer of good looking. And now for some of the add-ons that Baxter Cycle's added to this beautiful machine. And all of this is available at baxtercycle.com. Order today, ships tomorrow kind of thing. You know, we'll start with the pipe. It's an AEW short star muffler. Baxter Cycle is an exclusive dealer for those. They've got these bar end mirrors, Royal Enfield. They've got the Royal Enfield sump on the bottom, sump guard. Check that out. It's got the badging up here. Very nice. Diablo's fork gaiters. It's also got this EP headlight guard and these EP knee pads. I like it. I like it a lot. And of course, it's got that slime green monster color. Can't forget that. And again, I'm going to mention it does come with a center stand stock. Just a gorgeous all-around machine. I love these things. I absolutely love these things. I have the 350 Classic. I just enjoy that to all end. If I didn't have that Classic, I would certainly have one of these. Again, if you're interested in anything like this, a new or used Royal Enfield, Triumph, classic British bike of any type, get yourself down here to the mighty Minnetropolis of Marnie, Iowa, home of Baxter Cycle, or go to baxtercycle.com and see what they got. These guys can help you all out. Now, it's a beautiful day, and I want to go riding bike. You all do the same. Wahoo!